just do it. Why let's just do it. Feel kind of comfy. Got my comfy slippers right here. It's kind of a warmer day than it has been over the last week or so. So I got my slippers off. Got my feet very bare. Just what you want right before lunchtime. Seeing this old man's feet can't be too exciting. Good morning, Dennis. Hello, Star. Hello, Rinda Dean. Hello, Jack. Jack's become consistent. Jack must lurk around the TikTok world, waiting to hop on, waiting for coffee with Ken. I appreciate it if you are. Hello, Antonio. Hello, RN Van Life. Hello, Steve. Oh, you got a notification. Well, it's working. A lot of times I hear that, hey, I didn't get a notification. Why don't I get a notification that Ken's going live? Well, welcome, Star. Welcome, K-Dub. Welcome, Kenum Dimitri, Leah, Victor Telez, old-fashioned smiley face. Well, Jack, I haven't been going live a heck of a lot. Hello, Decays. Hello, Killfi Cloud. Hello, Virginia Low. I don't know if this is going to work with Holly here. I don't know if this is going to work with Holly here. I don't know if it's going to distract me or if it's going to enhance my chatting ability or give me just the perfect, I don't know, atmosphere. Okay, Holly, you go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Okay, lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. I just took her on a walk. It's her second walk of the day. Had a busy morning. Don't anyone feel too bad for Holly. She demands a lot of attention, and she also loves when I go live and start talking to my phone. She knows it's an opportunity for her to kind of wedge in and I don't know, get a lot of pets, got a lot of ear rubs. Favorite Christmas song, Jack wants to know. I'm going to say my favorite Christmas song is the David Bowie, and is it Bing Crosby, when they sung the little drummer boy, I think. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Is that the song I'm thinking? Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I don't know if you guys know it. They did it, just a beautiful version. I think it was Bing Crosby. And I think it was definitely David Bowie, and they just walked up to a piano and sang it, and it was a real beautiful version. And I'm not even a huge David Bowie fan, but I just thought it was a beautiful, beautiful version of the song. And Peace on Earth, a mashup, you're right. So that I'm going to call my favorite Christmas song. And but anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It's a little show. It is a little baby show. Hardly can see it if you're not watching. And if you're not in tune for the notifications, it might pass you by. But this is a little show I've been doing for about 4.5 years. And it is a show about me talking, sharing a little bit about life, sharing kind of the ups and downs we have. And just kind of, the longer I do it, and I say it all the time, the more I realize that we all have our struggles and we all have our issues and we all have our challenges, and it's how we perceive those challenges or those struggles or those issues that kind of determines the contentment with which we have within. And I think a lot of us are striving to be happy all the time, or joyous all the time, or feeling great all the time, or high-fiving all the time. And honestly, I think that's why some of us get involved with drugs and alcohol, because we expect greatness and awesomeness and wow and the best time of our lives every minute of the day. And that's just not the way life's supposed to be. Life's supposed to have its ups and downs and its challenges and its issues. Because if we didn't have challenges and we didn't have anxieties or stresses or issues, we'd have no reason to work on ourselves or improve ourselves or strive for anything better or be the best we can be. And that's my thought about that. So anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, hello, Michelle Cameron, you know, this isn't just a show about me yapping. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I just brewed up my second pot of the day. Oh, and it's going to be good. It is going to be good. Hello, Michelle Cameron. Thank you for joining. And I'm so excited to take my first sip in about an hour and a half. I've had a busy morning already. My wife went off to her new job. I've got the 2 little babies that I'm taking care of around the house. I did a ton of cleaning. Took Holly on a couple walks. Did a little video work as well. And just laid the babies down for their nap. And for the longest time, and sometimes I get distracted from my coffee. Sometimes I get distracted from my coffee, but bear with me. For the longest, not the longest time, for a few months I was doing it at 8 o'clock every morning, going live every morning. And that was kind of fun, and it worked out well, and my schedule allowed it. And life got in the way, as it has as it seems to do a lot. And life got in the way, and our schedules changed, and I took a different role around the house and had to be more in charge of my 2 little babies. I got a 2.5-year-old nugget of love and a little 1-year-old little angel named Eve. And I think we do the best we can, and we don't mind. Again, trial and error I think is important. And I'm one that has never really been an overnight success at anything, but I'm usually pretty determined, and usually I find a way to make things work. And so when my schedule changed and I started putting the kids down, and we had chaos in our house at 8 o'clock, the last few days I realized, hey, kids usually get about a 2-hour nap in many mornings. What am I going to do during those naps? Yes, I could clean my house. And I did. I am cleaning my house. I got a load of laundry in as we speak. And by the way, for anyone out there that is tasked with keeping the house clean, I recommend always getting the load of laundry in first. Because then during the 40 minutes of the wash cycle, no matter what you're doing, if you're just sitting on the couch, even if you're taking a nap, you feel like you're cleaning. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, you saw me pour it. I got a nice hot cup of coffee in my hands, and I'm excited to have my first sip. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, it's the hazelnut. It's a Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut. We started this morning. The very first sip I had this morning was the Sumatra, the dark roast by Starbucks, and I made it extra strong. I've got in the habit of making my coffee the night before. Yeah, this is a Dunkin' Donuts tray. Get my coffee maker ready the night before. I believe habits make the man or the woman and can determine where we end up in life. And I'd almost say the smaller the habits, the better. Yeah, we all want to do big things and go to the gym 5 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever we want, or church on Sundays, or make the bed every day. But make the bed's a perfect example of a small little habit that can make a huge difference. If you make your bed every day, you get that little bit of feeling of accomplishment and that little bit of feeling at night when you return to your bedroom of that things are okay, and that your life's not a mess, and that your life's not chaotic, and that even if it is a mess, and even if it is chaotic, at least you come home to your bedroom and your bed is made and you feel good about that. And it's kind of the inverse with coffee. I've realized when I'm laying in bed first thing in the morning and I'm waking up, knowing that the coffee maker's all ready to go, uh, I don't know, makes me feel good, a little bit more excited to get down and get my day started and, I don't know, get off to doing good things. So let's have a little more coffee. Mm. Michelle Cameron asked if I cook as well. I cook a little bit. Have spent I'm 55 years old. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. I've spent most of my life, uh, been married twice, been divorced twice, but that's a long story that we won't address right now. And there's been a lot of time where I've spent as a single guy or single dad or what have you. And when I was growing up, I was the third of four kids. Both my parents worked. My mom was never, she tried real hard, but was never a great cook. Thank you, Sandy Shepard. And was never a great cook by any stretch. And we were often on our own and would make do and get by. And therefore, I can do things like French toast and pancakes and, I don't know, quesadillas. I can microwave like nobody's business, and I can make a hell of a frozen pizza. I know how to get by without, and I'm not used to fancy dinners or what have you. Just for instance, last night, and this is such a small, silly thing, but it's just one of those things as a single guy I've learned. The odds of me enjoying a salad are infinitely more if I take the iceberg of lettuce or the lettuce I get from the store and shred it up, smash it up, rinse it up, and put it in Tupperware. And I did that last night, and I'm excited for lunch. I got cheese in there. I got salad dressing. I've already got the lettuce pre-washed and pre-shredded. And I'm going to have an awesome salad for lunch. Now, if it was sitting in the wrapper and, I often will get the icebergs. I know it's not the healthiest, but I love the crunch of the lettuce. I don't know. Something about opening it up and going, hey, I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I don't want to waste it. I don't want it to go brown or what have you. So I don't know how to cook, but I know how to get by, and I get by pretty well. And right now, my wife has recently started a new job that she's going to be awesome at, by the way. I'm not supposed to give you any details, so I won't. But let me tell you, she's going to be really good at it. And she got an opportunity a couple weeks ago. She just finished up training, and I think it's a perfect job for her and her skill set and her personality. And she's going to love it, and she's going to be awesome. And I'm excited to watch her be awesome at it. And in the meantime, I'm pretty good around the house. Again, I cook, I clean. Working, for those that don't know me, I was a realtor for 17 years and left that almost a year ago today and haven't really looked back at all and don't really miss anything about selling real estate. Just telling people I was a realtor gave me the heebie-jeebies. I never felt, I don't know, that it was the best use of who I am or the perfect use of who I am, because I'm not a decorator. I don't know what color paint this is behind me. But I was really good with numbers, and so I did fairly okay. And I was outgoing, and I was social, and most people liked me pretty much, so I did fairly okay. But at 54 years old, as I was at the time, I realized I only had another 30 years left on this planet or so, and I wanted to make a difference and be more than fairly okay. And strangely, started doing things that on the outset you'd think didn't have any financial reward to them. And so far, you're right, they haven't. But I'll bet you, if you look at me in 5 years, I think I found what I love to do, and that is creating content and sharing my story and somehow, some way inspiring others to do the same and to live their best life. Because, I've gone through struggles and I've had more than my share of challenges and got my ass kicked more times than I can remember. But I always get back up and I always keep going and I'm always getting a little better and I'm working on myself and, I've got a lot of life experiences and an ability to share them that seems to resonate with an audience. And I'm so excited to be doing it here on social media and watching my platforms grow on various pages. So, yeah, let's have a little more coffee. Oh, so anyway, how you guys doing? How you feeling? How'd you sleep last night? I had a rough week a few days ago, and I think it was a change in schedule, and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. And I'm feeling better over the last couple days. Our schedule had changed, and all the things that I thought were important to my daily physical and mental well-being, things like going to the gym on a regular schedule or going to church on Sundays or just being able to take my dog for a walk or what have you, due to our change in our family schedule, got made the last week chaotic. And when I say my life gets turned upside down, that sounds negative because I think it's a great thing. But when my schedule changes and I don't know what I'm going to do and don't have a routine that I find works for me, sometimes my mind can run amok and go kind of batty. And it was for a while. And at nights I was waking up and struggling and going, oh, crap, when am I going to work out? I've been working out hard for 3 months. I'm never going to work out again. I'm going to get out of shape and weak. Or crap, I've been working on going to church so consistently over the last couple of years, and it's a great start to my Sundays, but now due to our new schedule, my church schedule is going to have to change. Or crap, I've been going live at 8 o'clock every morning, and now my live video is going to change. And anyway, my mind was kind of running, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I was tossing and turning and feeling anxious and stressed out. And I think the difference today, or this last week while it happened, versus most of my life, is that over the last few years, I've dealt with my issues, and I've dealt with my anxiety, and I've dealt with sleepless nights, and I've realized the answer to stress and anxiety isn't found in a bottle or a bag of weed, and that it's better and healthier to address your issues and address your anxieties and acknowledge them and, find ways to cope with them in a healthy fashion. And I used to not cope with my stressors at all in a healthy fashion and would drink every day and smoke every day. And just over 2 years ago, I stopped doing both. And it's been an interesting experience, and it gives me a lot of stories to talk about and experiences to talk about. Because again, as I said at the start of the show, we all struggle in our own ways. And a lot of us, there's overlap. A lot of us probably drink too much, and a lot of us probably have sleepless nights, and a lot of us feel anxiety and feel stress and want to go to the gym and, hope to go to church on Sundays. But again, if you look at it, all of our problems maybe on the outside look a little different. But from a bigger, higher level, we all have them, and we all struggle, and we're all trying to make it through the day and make it through life with as big a smile and as much love in our hearts as we can. So I'm going to drink a little more coffee. I don't know how long I'm going to talk to you. It is about 10 after 11. I got a whole, this is a wonderful little thing. If anyone wants one of these, there's a link to it in my bio. It's funny, I like trying to shill my merchandise from time to time. But it's awesome. It keeps a full pot, 12 cups of coffee hot, and it does it almost all day. Sometimes if I go on a road trip and don't feel like stopping, or I'm too cheap to pay for Starbucks, I'll bring it along. I don't know. Just heading out for the day. And yeah, so let's have a little more coffee. But it is, what day is it? It is Thursday. It's November 30th. We have a little dusting of snow on the ground. Looking out my beautiful windows. I'll show you what our windows look like. There's our windows. There's our flag flapping in the breeze. There's my dog Holly taking a little snooze on the floor. There's some baby wipes for those that didn't believe I've got babies. Oh, yeah, 55 years old. I got a 2.5-year-old and a 1-year-old. She is a sweet girl. The reason I didn't really want her standing here at the beginning, to be honest with you, is I moved my table closer just, I don't know, because I wanted this angle. And she was wedging in. And if she wedges in too tight, she starts rocking the boat. My phone starts vibrating and will fall over. And I didn't want that to happen. So let's drink a little more coffee, let Holly sleep. I'm a little concerned. I hear one of my my nugget of love kind of fussing upstairs. I know my daughter Eve was ready for sleep, but again, I'm trying to work them into their same sleep schedule because I think that'd be best for the babies and certainly best for Dada. But again, I talked about the schedule changing over the last few days. I'm starting to enjoy it, and I tell you what, I love cleaning. Love might be overstating it, but I think I have a need, a want to be productive in life. And I think for a lot of the careers I've had, I never felt that productive. But I'll tell you what, you vacuum your carpet or your living room, and you make your house look nicer, you mow your lawn, or you shovel your driveway, or you do the dishes, and I know those aren't big financial rewards behind them, but I'll tell you what, they make you feel a lot better and like you're getting something done. And I think perhaps my goal is to be a full-time content creator. I talked about it a lot. And I think I'm pretty good at talking. And I know I've got a lot of life experiences and an ability to share them. But while, it wasn't, I don't know, while I'm letting that develop, I think me staying at home with my two babies that I love so much might be the perfect companion job, if you will. And I'm good at it. I like doing it. I love tending to my babies. I love cuddling with my babies. I love kid shows. I love watching Sesame Street. I love drinking coffee. I love going live with you. And, I don't know, I got a lot of love to give. And for 7 months of this year, I was working at a super Target not too far from here. And it was all right. It felt fairly productive. But again, it was just an entry level position. And I think my time is spent in a bunch of different ways. And rather than work in an entry level position with entry level pay, I'd rather, at this point in my life, be loving on my kids and loving on my babies and watching them grow and putting them to bed and changing their diapers and getting them ready for life and hopefully being as good a dad as I can. And while I'm doing that, I'm able to go live with you guys during nap time or, what have you, and edit videos and clean the house and reach out to my wife and encourage her and her passions and walk my dog and, I don't know, feel good. And, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm finding a lot more peace in it over the last few days, and I'm sleeping better. And even though I wake up during the nights, I'm excited that it's only 1 o'clock and I got 4 or 5 more hours of sleep. And because there's a lot of times in my life I'd look at the clock, I'd see it's 1 o'clock at night, and I go, crap, what am I going to do? I got to get back to sleep. And now I'm just kind of excited to be there, warm and safe in bed, which is a nice feeling. Let's have a little more coffee. Yeah, we have sound machines in the baby's room. I'm doing it a little dangerous. I'm putting the two babies in the same room. I want them to get them used to that and try and get their nap schedule coordinated. Just because I think it'll be better than what have you. Yeah, that's my strategy. It hasn't worked yet, but it's worked fine. Kids can go with me to church. Yeah. Well, we're working on that. I do love our church. I go to the Yellow Box in Naperville. It's a Christian church. I started going to church pretty regularly, I don't know, right before COVID. And then when COVID hit, I think a lot of people's lives got turned upside down. And I think a lot of people struggled in various ways. And one of the, I wasn't into, I go to church for the community and the people and the message and the music and all sorts of good things that I don't think I could have gotten through, a Zoom church meeting, if you will. And I was excited when they opened back up and started going there 2 years ago. And they got great music, and they got a new pastor that signed, that started working there, I think, in August, and he's awesome. And really enjoy it. And yes, I can bring them to church. I didn't bring them last Sunday, though. I don't know. You're enjoying your coffee as well. Well, here, let's drink a little more coffee while you're on the while we're on the subject. And when you have a coffee with Ken mug staring you in the face, how far away is the other subject of coffee? It's never too far away. I thought, remember you said Augie. Augie loved it, Lisa, and he has. Eve I brought twice. The first time, she loved it. The second time, I think she was ready for sleep, and I had to hold her during the service. But I think she'll learn to love it. She's a sweet girl. Both Augie and Eve had a bit of a cold or were sick over the last week and a half or so. But they're coming out of it. Their noses are a little runny and a little crusty, and but they're feeling better, and they're getting back to their normal thing. Augie, for those that don't know, has Down syndrome, and he's 2.5 years old, and I've always called him my little nugget of love. He's the sweetest thing. He's I don't know. No, he's the sweetest thing. But anyway, my point was that I live in Illinois, and Illinois is a really good state in helping kids with Down syndrome getting ready for life as they grow in school and all sorts of things. And he had a therapist appointment today at 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'll sit in, but when I have Eve, I think Eve distracts from his one-on-one time with his therapist. And it's easy to let me, look at that as playtime. But I'm trying to take it a little more seriously and look at it a little more seriously. And if I keep Eve in another room, or today I took her for a nice walk because it's a little warmer today, got her up in her sweatshirt or little hat and wrapped her up in a blankie. And we walked, and Holly enjoyed it, and we got out. And I tell you what, it feels good to have her on the mend, because it just felt so good going out for a walk. And again, it's the little things in life. It's the little things in life. And a walk on a sunny morning in end of November put me in a great, great mood. Shannon wants to know, will Augie start school at 3 due to early intervention? Yes, he will. Personally, I don't know if I like the sound of it. He seems too little to go to school. I don't know what it's going to look like or how it's going to be. I'm nervous about it. He's my little nugget of love. He's, again, with Down syndrome, I think he's developing a little slower in various ways, verbally, but also physically. He's not too much bigger than his little sister Eve, who is, 13 and a half months now. But it's really fun because, I don't know. It's like having two babies at once, and I don't know, more to love. So, anyway, a little more coffee. I do hear one of the babies fussing. It's tough. It's 11:30. I could go get them. Probably will. Get them some lunch and lay them back down in half an hour, and they'll be ready to crash. Sydney Connell Long says she did not know I have young children. Well, Sydney Connell Long, I don't know if you've ever commented on my page. Your name doesn't sound very familiar. So if you're one of those people that's been watching for a while, but not commenting. I appreciate it. There's certain names that I know very well and people I know and where they're from and what have you. But Sydney, I did not. Your name doesn't look familiar, but thank you for joining in. Ryan asks, "What am I doing for work now?" I'm a full-time content creator / loving dad to my two beautiful babies, and both keep me extremely busy. And I'm fortunate that my wife believes in Coffee with Ken as much as I do. And again, I got to tell her to stop sometimes because she's smarter than me at a bunch of different things. And one of those things is, I'm pretty good at talking and sharing experiences and doing what I'm doing right now. But there's so much behind the scenes stuff because you can have the greatest content in the world. But if nobody sees it, does it matter? And I'm not saying mine's the greatest content in the world, but I think it has a place and has some value. And, I've been doing it long enough, and I want to see it grow more, and I want to see it work, and I want to see my audience grow, and I'd love to bring my message of hope, optimism, honesty, struggles, faith, crying babies to as big of an audience as possible. And with her help, I think we can do it. And see where life can take us. Again, life goes quick. Life goes quick. I'm glad you're back with your wife. Ken, what is the top line revenue for Coffee with Kenny? Top line revenue. That sounds like such a accounting question. Not much. not much. Not much. We don't do a ton of, I don't make a lot of money at this right now. But I think I know the hardest dollar to make is the first dollar. And the hardest million is the first million. And my top line revenue is somewhere between that first dollar and that first million. And again, I've already done the hard work. I know there's a lot more hard work ahead of us. I know we got a ton to learn. And we got a ton to learn and a ton to accomplish and a ton more to share and a ton of life to experience. And I'm feeling better over the last few days, just feeling like we're getting into a routine and I know what to expect. And again, my wife's loving what she's doing and I'm loving spending time with the babies and working on my videos and I don't know, ready for Christmas. Well, thank you, Sydney, for saying that. I hope you follow. My positivity is much potential. She says. No, I don't know where it comes from. I've always been a big believer in myself and a big encourager and had a lot of hope. And again, I think the only reason I survived as a realtor for 17 years is because I have a lot of positivity and a lot of faith and a lot of belief in myself. But I had some challenges and maybe didn't love real estate like I should have and didn't have the passion for it, or I don't know, maybe it just wasn't the industry for me. So it feels good to not be doing that anymore. I wasn't totally sure my next step, so I took an entry-level job at Super Target. I was stocking shelves, stocking cereal. And, that was all right. It got me to where I wanted to be, or it got me to September. And in September, I was ready to make a change and said, I'm going to do this content creating full time. I'm going to build my audience, build my knowledge, build my skills, and do it full time. And I'm enjoying the process. I think that's where it comes from, enjoying the process. If somebody asked me the other day, how do you, consistently work out during the holidays? And I think the answer to that is by enjoying the process. I work out as often as I can, but I love going because I know it feels good, and I love the hot shower. And when I'm done, I just go, oh my God, that feels so good. The same thing's true with working out with content creation or cleaning the house or tending to the babies or what have you. If in life you enjoy the process and enjoy the journey and don't put all the importance on, the the six-pack of abs or the bank size of your bank account or the number of subscribers you get on social media, I think you're more likely to get that six-pack of abs, get the audience on social media, and have a clean house because you enjoy the process. And I'm learning to do that, and I'm learning to be a little more positive with myself. I used to be really friendly to everybody else, but really cruel to myself. And that's no way to be. And about 4.5 years ago, I realized I had to fix that and be a little kinder to myself and be a little nicer to myself and a little more loving to myself. And for those that watch my videos, I always end them the same way. I'm scared to say it because if I do, I might just sign off because that's what I do. But I always say, I hope you love yourself. I hope you forgive yourself. And as always, I hope you to talk to you soon. And I think that's the most important thing. I think, again, we can be so cruel to ourselves and say the meanest things to ourselves that you'd never say to anybody else. And I think we all struggle with ourselves probably more than we do in other relationships. And I think the relationship you have with yourself, some might say the relationship they have with God is their most important relationship. I'd say the relationship I have with myself is the most important, and maybe that's the same thing. Maybe the relationship we have with ourselves is the relationship we have with God. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it means something to me. And maybe our inner voice is God talking to us. And again, we got to work on that relationship and learn to love ourselves and forgive ourselves because we all screw up and we all do things we wish we wouldn't have. But we got to let that go because if we don't let it go, we're more likely to repeat it, and yeah, you don't want to do that. So I so appreciate you guys for watching. I got my little nugget up there crying, and if he's crying, Eve's probably in her bed looking at him, going, "Why won't my brother hush up?" And maybe there's a diaper to change. Maybe there's a belly to feed. Maybe there's some love to give. Maybe there's some toys, cars to push, or some wrestling, or some tickling, or some whatever we're going to do. But I want to go do it. I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. I so appreciate you joining me today. I'm a work in progress. The show is a work in progress. My current thoughts is I want to go live on their nap break and see how that works. I'm trying to make that about 10:30, but I can't promise you. I do repost these videos over on YouTube. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Please, if you enjoy my content, follow me on those as well. I so appreciate you for watching on this Thursday late morning. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you had a great night's sleep. Hope you're living in the moment. Hope you're loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.